every time I go downstairs, and it's not always the employees, but there's always that one person that likes to alter shit. I just went downstairs to get more nights ahead of time because I have to check out tomorrow. And Brian got me the last week for about $485 for the 7 nights, and they tried charging me $400 and some for 4. $111 in tax, they said. It's overwhelming, the amount of targeting. And I know it's because of who I am. I know that that's the reason, but I'm just not sure why. When does this stop? And for the bold that say never, I guess it stops when those of you are dead. Anyway, I decided to just wait for things to get handled in the process. Maybe it just wasn't the right time. I didn't want to force it. I actually forgot that I had a $350 Zelle, and I didn't spend $1 of it, which I'm glad. I assumed I still had $40 fucking left in my bank account for the past week, which is good. I don't spend money. I'm very good with money. And if there was money that was supposed to make it through to me through a mother, I never got more than the last $350 from someone through Zelle. I never got any more than that from a week ago. It would be last Saturday, I believe, is when I got it. I haven't spent $1 of it, and I never got any more. Because I feel like people have been giving someone money for me, and I'm not getting it. Yeah, I have to say it out loud because we don't know who's speaking telepathically anymore. So for those of you who donated, and I never got it, I'm going to say it again, thank you. For those of you saying that you did because you see that as an outlet to make yourself look like a good person, fuck off. I literally have $400 in my bank account currently, and I'm not spending $400 of it on 3 nights here at an extended stay, where I'm the only person in this hotel, basically, that's paying. Messiah. What's up with this Messiah? We like to stay with tradition. Tell me about the Messiah. This is a blessing to this world. This is what I'm hearing. Why are you treating your Savior? Forget about the Lord and Savior. We're programmed now that when we hear Savior, we think of Jesus. Your Savior could be a homeless man or woman in some way. They could be saving you from something. People don't understand that when you're kind or you do the right thing towards the right people, you get things in return. The pride is overwhelming. Okay. Look, nope. Look at that. I'm firm. Nope. This is my firm card. Look. I don't want to look at it. This is solid. This is a solid. Nope. I don't want to believe that that is a Messiah or that person could actually save. What could they save me from? Yourself. For a lot of you, it's yourself. You know, they want you outside in the cold, homeless. You don't want to be here. Okay. Well, a lot of us don't want to be in the situations that we're in, the places that we're in, or even with the people that we're with. So do something about it. Stop taking out your frustration, your life, on somebody else. Yeah. Some of these people that are doing this shit, they're going to wind up being on the street. That's what they wanted for you, right? Do you feel like when this happens in certain situations, you can't even call the police because you feel like the police are gonna take the side of your adversaries. I'm talking to the people who are this type of person. You like to give back to people. So here I am. I'm the person who likes to give, and then I'll never bring it up again. I have to say this over and over again to remind people of how the universe works. Doesn't matter if you're on a planet or on a ship. It's the same thing everywhere. So now I give, I like to give, but you like to keep things from me so that I can't give. Do you see the stupidity in this? This is why the laws of stupidity seem to be in place everywhere. Was there somebody that was, this is having work done to their car, so this could even be that somebody had to walk to work because something's up with their car, or if they got a ride with somebody, right, the universe is attacking the outlets in the people's lives who denied this in you. They don't recognize it. A lot of times we don't recognize that that's what this is. And for some, it's brought to their attention, and they will keep, what's the next step? I just heard. Salisbury steak. Somebody went from eating filet mignon to Salisbury steak. Where's the next step? Spam. And I know people say, hey, don't knock spam. But this is just me speaking metaphorically. Yeah, this is judgment. This is constant. I would rather go through difficult times than to admit that this individual was actually sent into my life somehow to save me from something or to help me recognize something. I see dinner. Who can handle the meat? Yep. Some of these people, it's the first time in a long time that they had to skip dinner. L-A or Al. There could be an Al or Alicia, Alana, Alyssa. What are you, some kind of nerd? Well, this could be that you have more in common than you think. You could both be real smart, or you were both considered geeks in school. If this is a constant thing between you and someone someone in particular, I mean. You see, it could be a difference in ethnicity, skin color, and you see that as different. You're looking at it from a programmable mindset. Armadillo. Why does this come out so much? And this is in reverse, though. Can't save you from becoming your parents. Is that what it is? Recognize these things. Am I just like my mom or my dad, man? And I couldn't stand the way that they were. It doesn't have to be anything that to do with racism. This is tough, difficult, and firm. But that you're being tough, difficult, and firm with the wrong thing, with the wrong people, though. There's somebody else that you need to show this type of attitude towards. Tell me about this, please. Does this have to do with looks by any chance? I mean, look at this person, though. This is solidarity. This is independence, beauty. Is that what it is? Would it be, put your situation, whatever you're going through, for those of you who are this. Do you believe that if you were less attractive or you were heavier or even lighter, that you would be treated differently? If I see you as anything other than something similar to me, then all of this hurt energy comes up, this shit from my past. And there could even be people that you're engaging with that actually have flashbacks. You remind them or you trigger them in some way. That's what a Messiah does. I mean, they're usually just who they are by default. So they're designed to trigger. It doesn't even have to be a Heyoka. They could just be somebody who triggers you. They could be mute and trigger you in some way. It could be because you have a good friend in your life, or you have a better job, or your hair is nicer than theirs. It triggers hate. You could even be a shapeshifter where you look different every time. Somebody's noticing that your features look different at different times that they had conversation with you. Now I'm starting to fight. Yeah, I think you guys are just tired of dealing with this yourself. I mean, like, this is an option with justice for a cop or a police department. This person could even be someone that's in the judicial system, or this is an illusion too. Somebody could have said that they were undercover, or that they were going to be a mole for somebody, and they're not. Thank God for telepathy in some situations, and thank God that others have cameras in their eyes that they can clearly see every interaction. Certain people can see every interaction. You know, some of these people are using, in corporations, especially if you're having problems with a business, I think that some of the people in the business could have found out that your eyes are hacked, and you are there. But see, when you do that, you're using this is a gift that somebody has as well. Reward them for their gifts. You know, if you're using somebody's eyes, and you know somebody that's in the government, or somebody that has certain types of information, and now you're gaining information that's helping you, return that in some way. John Hayward is using somebody's eyes to find out information, but he's altering the information. It's really John Martin. Yeah, this thing with changing genders is what you... So what are we to assume? It's going to backfire now. People are just going to assume they're the opposite gender now. For people who are, whether I was born this or not, this is who I'm portraying myself as, and I'm comfortable in my skin as this individual, as a man or as a woman. It's going to backfire now. They're just going to assume that they're going to find that one person, because of these times, that they want to spend time with, and they're going to assume that everybody else that comes up to them is the opposite of who they say that they are. This is how you're going to have to move to get from point A to point B without being distracted and having some kind of interruption with anything. Imagine going back to the firm like this. Is there a lawyer connected to these companies at all? This is also playing God when it comes to corporations and being greedy. I'm firm that I'm greedy. Some of the people who are connected to these big businesses and shit, they're going to be homeless. Some of them are already living out of their vehicles, vans, the company cars. Eric Martinez and Wardhoff. Yeah, this is it's a mirage, the judicial system. This is why a lot of you, I'm not even calling the cops anymore. I'm just going to assume that this over here, this is everything that's being put out is going to come back. There's a lot of people. I'll bet that the police departments aren't getting many phone calls anymore. I don't know how many they were getting depending on where some of you were living, but it feels like there's a lot of people that are just like, you know what? I'm just giving up on that, and I'm allowing for karmic justice. That's my police department now. 'Cause TF. Oh, what I wanted to tell everybody too is the universe. I don't believe the universe. What is it with the words that we use? I don't know if the universe actually knows words or the vibration that comes off of the word through the letters that connect to make the word. We say that the universe knows feeling, right? This is a logical channel over here, and that's all we got. I'm on Saturn, say. And I don't know, or even let's say you do. You know these terms and you wind up getting dropped on Saturn and now you're there all by yourself. And somehow I have to let the universe know that I don't want to be here in some way. How are you going to test those words? You already know words. You say them and feel whether it lifts you up, right, and pulls you back down. But the universe, I don't even know if the universe knows currency or abundance as a word. It could be what it actually does to you. If it raises your vibration, they're words that rate, they're high vibrational words, right? But there are beings that don't utter one word. On other planets, they don't say anything. This is how this awakening was supposed to go, but then you have those that just have to ruin everything. Here I go. What my brother got, this has been happening since they were a kid. My cousin or brother got it, or my sister got a better toy, a new toy, let me break it. It's that shit. Are we ever going to change? For those of you who are like that, I'm not like that. And I've never been like that either. I can honestly say I've never been that type of person. I always like to see people do well unless you're that foul. And then I want to see you fall. And then that'll be the one thing that they recognize and hold on to about you. That's a hurt person right there. They're still in some type of place that they're dealing with. And a lot of times these people will overcompensate with kindness, and you can feel it. It almost feels like a threatening kind of kindness. But you can see through it. These people here are designed to help you get through that. And it doesn't mean you have to sit down and have a conversation about what happened and what happened in your childhood. They trigger you. And then if you allow yourself, usually you'll be put in a situation where you have a moment or two to think afterward. Now people will recognize it and try to distract those people. There's always going to be that opposition. I don't know what the opposition is. The opposition seems to be resistance. If you had to sum it all up. For me, anyway. TF. KE. Crappy coaches. Please don't tell me that you're paying for a life coach. Some people are paying or even talking to somebody who claims ZK or ZC claims to be a life coach. If that's the outcome and you find yourself angry, well, you know what they're saying, or they're going to say it now. See, you have to put yourself in each position. So when I speak from my viewpoint, I automatically know what somebody's going to try to do to defeat it, resist it, cause problems, prove me wrong. This is why Heyokas are the only destroyers of a true narcissist. And all right, this could be again Zachary or Zachariah. I don't know what's going on with you Zacharias, man. I don't know it. I'm not sure what the origin is of that name, because a lot of people are here illegally and took on names that don't belong to them. So some of these people took on a last name that comes from a royal bloodline. It's a high vibrational last name, and it's just not working for you. For others, you took on one that's low vibrational, and you're just way too valuable for that last name, and it's affecting your life in some way. I believe that those of us that were separated from the past, I think that we went through something. They used us to figure out the things that we know, and then the pieces of shit separated us to take everything as theirs. So we could have warned people about what's going to happen in the world a while ago, and then they erased our memory, separated us, and placed us in what were supposed to be compromising situations, but when you're a certain type of individual, no situation is compromising for you because you find your way out of it all the time. And then what happens is now you'll have more people that want to get together and try to stop you from getting out of that situation, and they will lose everything. On top of that, this heavy, no, you can't, did you, darling? Huh? What is this, Martha? Did you make the mistake with that big ass mouth of yours of saying that you would rather be homeless in the wintertime than to admit that somebody was who they were or that something was what it was? I believe that you are asked out on the street cold with a very, very thin coat in the hook, right? The ship is landed in New Zealand is what I believe. I believe it's there, and people are trying to find a way to the Alamo, I heard, in Texas, the Air Force Base in Ontario, Coles in LA, and City Hall in Philadelphia. There are people who want to get on this ship to fuck people up. One, for messing with me, and for other reasons, I'm sure. Yeah, people are finding out a lot of truth about me and what I've done for people. It was inevitable that it was going to come out. They will only take in information that makes them feel a certain way. They will, if people are sent to see, what people will do is they'll send you a lot of truth, and then now they'll start sending in the manipulation because they think that they formed a bond with you. A trustful bond. The circle of trust. You'll know immediately when they hand you something. So I don't know if people are going to be able to feel this with me, but let's say that somebody handed me now. I already seen something and they made it clear, and I just heard I fucked up by showing them that, about either somebody getting set on fire for a bunch of people and they don't die. They jump back into their body. They edited some of those as well, probably all of them. And then they're not going to tell you that everybody did it for each other, though. And not everybody, I mean everybody in a certain group. These are gods. These are gods that you could set them on fire. They immediately leave their bodies. It's not something they have to even practice. They've done this over time. These are the ones I believe that have just gone into the transferred and crossed over lifetime after lifetime, and there's a possibility that some of you, I don't know if you stopped aging. I'm not sure if we were actually born, those of us who know that we are this. I'm not sure. I can't even trust what I'm seeing when I close my eyes anymore, which is a good thing because there needs to be some type of cleaning again. Yeah, everything always works in your favor when your intentions are pure, and sometimes you go through a little bit of roughness, but then someone like this is a very patient individual as well. It's the makings of a god. This is the characteristics and personality traits, as well as the physical traits, where you could be getting attacked by a lot of this shit and your features aren't changing at all. You'll know because people around you are getting more agitated at what you look like. They're not saying anything. They don't have the balls to say, look at my face. What they're going to say is, what? I haven't been sleeping. So-and-so's doing this to me. That's not it. You could have been part of the attacks, or you're not, and they're letting you know that this person is not a god. And I'm not sure, to tell you the truth right now, that the universe wants gods to be around anyone else but other gods. I'm going to be honest with you. And it's so other people can experience their karma and we won't be affected anymore. All right. There are people making their way over to the United States to fuck people up. It's a gang of hip-hop dancers or something. Hey, that kid's in an FKC gang. Don't touch him. Well, that could be what this is, too. It could be a bunch of people who were involved with that. Or people who thought, or they were promised something, a place in that line of work. I do believe also there are a lot of individuals who have no desire anymore to get involved in that industry because of the shit that it's not even so much shit that they're finding out. It's just it seems like maybe that's not for me. Maybe I'm not destined to be in the industry like that, and that's why it seems difficult, like a constant uphill battle. I heard. 50 million is on the line. That also would be another lie if they told you that you were going to gain any kind of money off of fucking with someone like this. Talk logic, please, for me. Just one for once in your life. Just use logic. So let me get this straight. The universe is going to let you take someone's money that would give without wanting back, and your intentions could be to go buy yourself a yacht or a plane. And some of these fucking ignorant pieces of shit, actually said, I'm not going to give back to anybody. And you can't seem to get your way out of the rut you've been in for 6 months, 6 years, some of you. It's because of your goddamn intentions. You're not going to change the laws of the universe, Chad Murphy. Did you really think that you were going to be able to change the laws of the universe? You know who could? I could if I wanted to. Maybe I'll prove it a little further down the line. I'll change something temporarily just to show everybody that that's how it works. Gods can do that. I guess let's talk about the hip hop thing. Wolf in reverse. They like being the wolf in sheep's clothing. A lot of us do. It's not a fit for everybody, though. They earned it, right. There are those of us who know that we are. And you can just tell because you are walking karma. You're the wolf in sheep's clothing, a lot of you. You can also be the sheep in wolf's clothing. True shapeshifters. Hi, Wolf. I miss you. Yeah, that's someone in particular that I know from my past. Tell me about this wolf in reverse. You know, let's look and see what it is in the wolf. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. They're leaders. This came in reverse. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching. So if somebody's saying, I'm a wolf, you're not. Unless you're like this, you're not a wolf. You could be a sheep instead, or you're supposed to be the sacrificial lamb, possibly. And that doesn't mean that you get killed so somebody else can gain fortune. That means maybe you put yourself on the line for something good for once. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Am I turning out just like my mother or father? And I said I never would. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. I think it comes down to wanting to be the wolf overnight without... The best part about getting to that point is the story behind it and the shit that you went through. Instead of making up a story that now you have to learn, you have to actually learn and memorize your own story. May not be your story. You already have, for some of you already have a story that's great enough to be told, but you're just not around people who give you props for the shit that you've been through, so you don't see it like that. Contemplate the following and embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, judgmental and dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go. Tell me what they need to get let go of. Some of you, it's medication that's messing with you. And it's altering your mind, and it's not affecting this health issue at all. This is this a message? Was there a message that there should have been a pause on something? I want this stopped. It's affecting, we're not getting anywhere. Don't you see that this is a Messiah type of person? So there's somebody else that actually is a wolf. They could be a leader of a group and they keep telling people to stop. If I have to tell you motherfuckers one more time, it took me a while to get it. This isn't about power anymore. This is just about straight stupidity. This is wanting to control or rule the world. This is what somebody said. Try controlling your world first before. Maybe we should have tried to control our own universe before we tried to control the entire universe, which would just be the world to me. Don't you see how dark the world has got? I also want to bring attention to this. When you look into the moon, when I see the moon outside, I see myself, and I see Patrick, and then I see our son. Okay? I have to start saying things out loud because I know that certain people had their children taken, and now we look like bad parents, and it's usually the mothers that wind up being more affected by this than the fathers. But I know that there are a lot of fathers out there who feel this way. I don't want to force a connection here, and I don't want to be looked at as a bad parent because of it. This was also a part of the experiment. I have to say this over and over again. It's been months since I said it, for the motherfuckers who only want to nitpick and say that's all you hear. You don't actually hear it, though. You hear it on the surface. You don't hear it on a deeper level. You don't take into consideration that you could have been part of that experiment as well, whether you were the parent or the child. You only want to nitpick what someone else says. You need to sit to yourself and think about some things. He has sunglasses on. This is in the ship. I know that that's where I am at this point. I don't know what the moon looks like. I believe they mimicked, or they tried to mimic. So when there's a full moon on planet Earth, I'm guessing that there's a full moon here now. So look at the moon if you're on Earth, and if you can get a good picture at it, it could be the same. And I do believe it's because the two of us represent God. Some type of being, some type of all-powerful, all-knowing, and this, that, or the other. And it's a bold statement, it really is. But you'll see, when you look up at the moon, you'll see it. And it's only called that. We use that here. What is it called? Master. I know we all hear master, right? Master of the universe. It's the imagination of the two of us. Is it possible that our imaginations are that powerful that we manifest things almost immediately? And this is why we have to be by ourselves. We can't just be around anybody, because it compromises your mind, which compromises your imagination, and then it compromises what you manifest. I refuse to believe the universe would take him from me. I refuse. And if he did, I'll bring him right back from the dead somehow. And I probably did, with this persistent, consistent imagination and idea of this man. I can't have anything else. The universe clearly won't allow me to have it either. The universe knows some things. Ancestors and these beings know some things. Remember, memories have been wiped, even from other lifetimes and shit. Accomplishments, people trying to separate us. Every single, I guess it would be a century, it would be a lifetime, it would be an era, possibly. And then every time we try to find a way back to each other, and this is for soulmates as well, there's always that jealousy, that envy, that competition, and people being hurt that are going through shit in their relationship that don't want to see other people together. It's easy. Stop being those people who want to interfere, and then you won't have that in your life as well. Some of you are engaging in behavior to try to stop people from being together, and now you're single and you can't be with someone that you love. Don't you see how this shit works? If you all could just let the pride go, and this childish thing of don't tell me. Stop trying to hold on to somebody who you can clearly see wants to be with someone else. It's embarrassing. And the sun, for those of us that were in the ship, I mean, I guess we're proven also that you don't really need the sun to survive. I don't know if the sun's not real. It would be impossible. They may not have even meant for the moon to turn out that way, but that's the universe's way of saying these two are different. And then they represent a perfect balance between light and dark, masculine and feminine, and they both have it. Now what'll happen is life experiences and individuals will affect that in you, and you'll either become too feminine or too masculine, and they'll be separated again. I just heard again. This happens every lifetime. And until they're both balanced that way, it's possible that they won't be able to come together. It'll just be ruined again. I think the universe is finished with people coming together and then allowing other people to come in and ruin what they just worked for. Because it affects the entire universe. Now that's how important it is for these soulmates to be together. If they say that the end of the world happened in 2012, I believe a lot of shit happened in 2012 that was erased from our memory. And it could even be certain individuals being elected for presidency. Some people that would actually make change into this world. I tell you what, it's clear that leaders in certain countries weren't meant to lead. It was greed, not lead. That was the main focus, I'm guessing. Power and greed. And now the world is feeling it. Finally, we can admit that it matters who is in office. It matters, even with governors and mayors and the police. It matters who are in positions of power and what their intentions are. So we can't stop the shit that's going to happen with the sun. It will fix itself eventually. It's inevitable. There will be some asteroids and meteor showers and all kinds of catastrophic events. What we focus on now is how do we protect ourselves from meeting our demise from these catastrophic events. And who are these people here that will help me and not ever throw it in my face? Who are these people that are meant to gain all this wealth that will now give back? See, you're not used to it because either you aren't that person, so you think everybody's like you, or you are that person and you surrounded yourself with people who just take, so you can't fathom somebody actually wanting to protect people's lives outside of their own. This is where the world is at, and it needs to change. It needs to change, and it needs to change for everybody. You understand? And it is a process, and I do believe that there are a lot of changes happening. I have to believe this shit, otherwise it's the belief that it's never going to change. That's not helping anyone either. Gather in reverse. And seer. I don't even know if this is supposed to be in reverse. This could be just gathering all of the prophets, right? All of the people who have this vision where they can see things. She looks blind here. And that's what happened. It's all of these things. All of these attacks. The shit they put in the food. The programming on the television and social media. It all affects your ability to see things clearly. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. This kid hit me with a finger that looked exactly like I'm not gonna lie, that's a good 12 tribes. Gather. 12. We already found each other. Yep. Our ancestors' connection to Mother Earth was primal and constant. Not the luxury or once in a while practice it is today. The earth provided direct and essential nourishment, growth, and healing to the people who roamed its surface in a very immediate and personal way. Every seed planted held the potential to sustain the life of the community. Every fruit harvested was a blessing, one more resource to carry the community through cold, barren winters. Those who were tasked with gathering knew how to provide for their people. Gatherers knew the importance of using resources wisely, but also truly valued the beauty and abundance of the land. Now it's time to gather your resources and to keep them close at hand. You are abundant at this time and should celebrate your prosperity. However, you must be sure to prepare for winter. Like the earth, you will flow through seasons of harvest and scarcity, cycles of abundance then drought. Remember to fill your spiritual, mental, and physical reserves while you have more than enough. That could mean resting more when you have extra free time or saving unexpected financial windfalls. Unforeseen challenges cannot be avoided, but they can be easier to manage when you have something to fall back on. Gather invocation. This gatherer invocation is most powerful during a full moon. However, it can be channeled at any time to call in abundance. To amplify this invocation, speak the words aloud 13 times, beginning with a whisper and gradually growing louder until you are pouring all your energy into the last round. As you speak, spin joyfully with your arms out and flowing wherever your spirit moves them. Each time you reach the word leap, to stop to leap in the air. As with the volume, you want to start with a small leap and gradually leap higher and higher. Cut the vine, pick the fruit, take a bow, and thank the root. Gather, dear child, all you seek. There's abundance all around with every leap. There's enough to go around for everybody. Especially now that we know that it's not a ratio to gold. So it's allowing the loss. It's not a loss. If you see, if this feels like it's someone that it's someone you wanted to hold on to, but clearly if it's not working consistently, it's just not meant to be. And then instead, this is the thing though, it's that tunnel vision of I'm only looking at they left and they want to be with someone else, or the job, or I got fired, or something's not working with my job. You're supposed to be working in a different line of work or a different company, or that person's supposed to be with someone else, and that's all this other individual's focusing on. You're not focusing on the fact that there needs to be something made right. And it could be that you're not with the right one either, clearly, or they wouldn't have wanted to leave. There's someone else for you too. Or you're a non-player character. You were created or cloned, and they keep cloning and creating certain people with low vibrational DNA, and now you're just becoming a fucking nuisance. It's something. Even if you're a nuisance, just be okay with being the nuisance and be okay with being the lesson for everybody. You still have a part to play. You're not completely exempt from the stage called the world. You understand? So I hope this helps some people. See you.